Welcome back, Figure Father here. I am working on a custom Kenner Ray figure, and I grew up with the figures, and I was always like, as an adult, why didn't we get more figures? Why didn't we get, them in their civilian clothes, like different variants? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make Ray in his civilian clothes. I really like the look of it, and I had an idea when watching the cartoon with my boys. I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. So I printed off a picture of Ray, drew on what I wanted it to look like to kind of give me a diagram or a blueprint of what to sand off and where to sculpt. I use a Dremel to get the majority of the straps and that square part on his back that's part of the proton pack off, and then I use a hand sander to smooth everything out. This right here was kind of nerve-wracking. I drew a line on where I wanted the cuffs of the rolled up sleeves to be, and then I just went for it and just dremeled off the cuff of the sleeve and tried to give it as much mass there so I can have something to sculpt over but not also make it weak. After doing that, this was a big do it or don't, and I was like, we'll do it. So then I also, once using the Dremel to get all that sanded off, I used the sanding brick to smooth everything out. And right here is everything's smooth, sanded and everything, and there's the arm, there's the other arm. I was just checking it to make sure I got any extra burrs off of the sanded plastic that the Dremel left. And right here, I'm trying to pop the arm back in. I heated it up with some really hot water, boiling hot water, and I'm trying to pop it back in so I can see what it kind of looks like on the figure, just to kind of test it. So I didn't do most of the sculpting on this on camera. I was working on something else, and then I had some extra sculpt and was like, oh, I need to use this. So I started throwing it on this Ray figure, and then here's me adding to it. I sculpted the cuffs, some of the cuffs on the pants, and this is the rest of that. I sculpted the cuffs on the arms, the rolled up parts, and you'll see me smooth out the arm parts with some sculpt here in a minute. I'm not like a professional sculptor or anything, but I enjoy doing this stuff. Customs are a fun hobby of mine, as well as dios. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I like making these types of things. The sculpting on it was interesting because I was trying to make it thin. I didn't want to make it too clunky. And then I would sand down a little bit after I sculpted. But here, right here, I need to take care of the loose joints, so I'm going to be doing that with some super glue. Yeah, this was nerve-wracking because it's like once you put it in there, you can't stop until it's hardened, and you got to keep rotating it and rotating it until it's done, or else you're going to fuse the limbs together. And I've got all 4 of these limbs to do. Now that the leg and arm joints are solid and not loosey-goosey, it's time to prime. So I'm going to prime the whole figure out in white. And also, this is what it looks like together. It looks really good, I feel. I feel like I did a really good job. I really want to know, I really would like some honest opinions. What are your thoughts on it? So comment down below on this process if you think it's interesting or you enjoy it. I do plan on making the rest of them at some point. I just started with Ray because he's my favorite Ghostbuster. He's the heart of the Ghostbusters, and I identify with Ray. I have a child sense of wonder. I basically call it Peter Pan syndrome. Like, I like to, set up toys and make dios and, be a kid for as long as possible. But also it's an adult thing. So, like, you got to be an adult. You got to, do everything you can, pay bills and, all the adulting stuff. But when time allows it, I get to, play action figures with my boys and let them, use their imagination as well. And it's fun. It's great. I really enjoy it. I had to add some sculpt to those boots. That figure was not standing on its own. It's like the heel of the boot kind of rounded, so I really had to add some sculpt and kind of resculpt those boots a little bit to kind of give it some rigidity. That's the correct word. And yeah, priming a figure is a pain in the butt. I would have used my airbrush, but it's packed, so I'm doing it with a brush. But yeah, so the next step after this is going to be painting. So on to the painting. Uh-oh. Well, that's not what I wanted it to do. What am I going to do now?